What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Team Khabib's longtime training partner, Josh Thompson, recently shared an inside look into Islam Makhachev's training camp ahead of UFC 322, revealing just how prepared and dangerous the reigning champion looks. According to Thompson, Islam appears sharper, faster, and more focused than ever before, a statement that carries real weight coming from someone who has trained closely with him for years. As Islam prepares for his move up to 170 pounds, he's chasing history after dominating the lightweight division with 4 consecutive title defenses, the most in its history. Now stepping into the welterweight division, he faces one of his toughest challenges yet, Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, a relentless striker who's currently on an 18-fight win streak, and shocked the MMA world by defeating Galal Muhammad's early bout. Ahead of their clash, Islam showed great respect for his opponent, praising JDM's composure and calmness under pressure. He pointed out that while Della Madalena's wrestling isn't elite, his boxing and overall striking are world-class. Even when taken down, JDM remains composed and avoids bad positions, which makes him an incredibly tough opponent. Thompson believes this fight poses a greater danger to Islam than his previous bout with Dustin Poirier, yet he remains confident in the champion's ability to adapt. The weight cut won't be as draining for him at welterweight, Thompson said. He'll have more energy, and that will allow him to maintain his cardio and conditioning deep into the later rounds. A fresh Islam Makhachev is a completely different beast. He also praised Islam's world-class grappling, calling it among the best in MMA today. "I've seen him give elite black belts all kinds of problems," Thompson recalled. "They can't sweep him, they can't get him off them, and he's constantly attacking." With both fighters carrying huge momentum, UFC 322 is shaping up to be one of the year's biggest events. Thompson predicts Islam will secure a dominant finish between rounds 2 and 3, proving once again why he's one of the most complete and feared fighters in the sport today. Move on to another news. Ariel Helwani has once again found himself at odds with UFC President Dana White following the latest round of heated comments between the two. Just a few weeks ago, fans were shocked when both men appeared to bury the hatchet publicly, something few expected given their long and contentious history. However, that short-lived truce quickly fell apart after Dana recently lashed out at Ariel over what he called a clickbait report. The report in question, published by Helwani, claimed that over 100 UFC fights were under review for potential fixing, a statement that immediately caught the attention of fans and the media. Dana White fired back, accusing Ariel of twisting facts and exaggerating the situation to stir unnecessary drama. "There aren't hundreds of fights being investigated," Dana said. "The first thing we did was call the FBI. I've met with them twice today. I see 360. Our integrity company monitors all betting activity. They're the best in the business. This is total clickbait." In response, Helwani didn't hold back, sharing his side of the story on his show. "If Dana's coming at me, that means I'm doing something right," Ariel said. "He's made this personal. I've tried many times to take the high road and not make it personal, but at this point, I can't." He defended his reporting, emphasizing that several fighters themselves had publicly admitted on social media to being approached with suspicious betting offers, which made it only logical for authorities to step in and investigate further. Helwani's report quickly fueled online debate, with some fans siding with him for exposing what could be a serious integrity issue, while others accused him of blowing the story out of proportion for clicks and views. Dana White's rebuttal, meanwhile, aimed to assure fans that the UFC is taking the situation seriously and cooperating fully with the FBI to ensure transparency in the sports betting scene. These last few weeks have been particularly chaotic for the UFC, from geopolitical controversies involving Tom Aspinall to the growing concern around betting integrity. The renewed Helwani-Dana feud has only added to the storm surrounding the organization. The question remains, is Ariel Helwani's criticism fair journalism, or is this another round of exaggerated reporting? Move on to another news. Jack Della Maddalena has issued a serious warning to Islam Makhachev ahead of their UFC 322 showdown, confidently vowing to finish the champion and shock the world. The Australian rising star declared that he's fighting not only for himself but also for Alexander Volkanovski and the entire nation of Australia. Jack made it clear that he doesn't see Islam as some untouchable lightweight legend, but rather as just another man stepping into his division, one he fully believes he can beat anywhere the fight goes. In a bold statement, Jack even claimed that he could surprise Islam in the grappling exchange, a daring claim considering Makhachev's reputation as one of the most dominant ground fighters in MMA. "I think he probably expects to take me down, hold me, and submit me," Jack said. "But I believe my grappling and strength will surprise him. I've got the right techniques and approach to throw him off his game." Meanwhile, I'm Paddy Pimblett D has jumped into the mix, backing JDM to ICBM, Badr Makhachev, and even challenging Islam to return to lightweight wing if he wants to settle things once and for all. The added tension from Paddy's comments has only fueled the growing hype around this fight. If Jack Della Maddalena pulls off the upset, UFC 322 could go down as one of the most unforgettable nights in recent UFC history. The matchup carries massive implications for both fighters. If Islam wins, many believe he could be on course for a blockbuster fight against Ilia Topuria at 170 pounds. But if he loses, a mega showdown with Kamaru Usman could be next. A fight that would still command worldwide attention despite a setback. Speaking about the upcoming bout, JDM sounded focused and motivated. "I see a finish happening," he said confidently. "I see the crowd going wild, the energy going crazy, and me turning to my corner while everyone's losing their minds." Jack also acknowledged the challenge ahead. "He's one of the best fighters in the world and one of the longest reigning champions," he admitted. "But I don't see it as him moving up. I see it as him entering my division to fight me. This is the toughest fight of my career, but I feel good, confident, and ready. I've got the right game plan. Now it's just about putting it all together on fight night." 90 characters. Move on to another news. As the biggest fight of his career draws near, Islam Makhachev looks completely locked in, focused, composed, and determined. His camp has placed a heavy emphasis on grappling, a clear indication of his game plan heading into this challenge. Grappling has always been the foundation of what made him a dominant lightweight champion, and now, as he aims to capture gold in another division, that strength could once again be the key to victory. However, this time the challenge is different. Jack Della Maddalena is not like the opponents Islam has faced at 155 pounds. He's bigger, more precise, and carries devastating power in his hands. That's why many believe Islam won't waste any time testing his stand-up against JDM. Instead, he'll try to impose his grappling early and drag the Australian striker into deep waters, a place few have survived against the Dagestani champion. Recently, Vadim Nemkov, a close friend of Team Khabib, revealed something fans have dreamed about for years. While preparing for his own heavyweight title fight, Nemkov spent a week training at Islam's camp as Makhachev readied himself for JDM. During that time, Khamzat Chimaev made a surprise appearance. What followed was an incredible moment, a full-on sparring session between two of the most dominant forces in mixed martial arts, the newly crowned middleweight champion and the reigning lightweight champion and the reigning lightweight king chasing double champ status. According to Nemkov, everyone in the gym stopped to watch. The intensity was unreal. The grappling exchanges were fast, technical, and powerful, a true clash of elite styles. Nemkov admitted he was shocked at how well Islam handled himself against someone as physically imposing as Chimaev. Despite the size difference, Islam's control, positioning, and transitions were world-class. Every scramble showed just how advanced his skill set truly is. Nemkov described it as one of the most remarkable sparring sessions he had ever witnessed, a moment that reminded everyone in the gym why Islam Makhachev and Khamzat Chimaev are considered generational talents. It wasn't about who won or lost. It was about witnessing two masters of their craft push each other to their absolute limits. A preview of what makes Islam such a dangerous fighter heading into the biggest challenge of his career. 2,280 characters. Move on to another news. Israel Adesanya and Jack Della Maddalena recently sat down to analyze Islam Makhachev's grappling ahead of their potential clash, sharing valuable insights into what makes the lightweight champion so dominant and where he might struggle. In a new video posted on Adesanya's YouTube channel, the two broke down Islam's approach, his strengths on the ground, and how fighters like Alexander Volkanovski and Arman Tsarukyan managed to find success against him using specific defensive techniques. JDM believes that Makhachev might underestimate his grappling skills, assuming he can simply take him down and control him on the mat. According to Jack, that would be a mistake. He feels his timing, movement, and ability to create scrambles could throw Islam off rhythm. Adesanya echoed those thoughts, suggesting that Islam's signature top control won't work as effectively against a strong and mobile welterweight like Jack Dot. Izzy pointed out that when Islam gets on top, many fighters tend to freeze, a critical error that allows him to advance and dominate. The key, Adesanya explained, is constant urgency. Even if you have to risk giving up your back to escape, you have to keep moving. That's what Volkanovski did so well. He stayed several steps ahead, always creating space and countering transitions. Both fighters highlighted how Volkanovski and Tsarukyan effectively used butterfly hooks to defend takedowns and disrupt Islam's control. Adesanya added that butterfly hooks, especially for longer fighters, can be an excellent tool to elevate and off-balance wrestlers like Makhachev. It's about training them properly and understanding the timing, he said. The urgency and movement are everything. I just don't think Islam will be able to hold Jack down for long. JDM agreed, noting that even Tsarukyan, a high-level wrestler, found moments of success using that approach. Adesanya predicted that at some point during the fight, maybe after several takedown attempts, Islam will realize that Jack isn't staying down. There's going to be a moment, he said, where he sees Jack still standing after the third, fourth, maybe even sixth takedown attempt. And that's when he'll understand this fight is different. Move on to another news. Reinier De Ridder has opened up about a worrying health issue following his shocking loss to Brendan Allen on October 18th, a fight that left the MMA world stunned. During that matchup, De Ridder appeared visibly fatigued as the rounds progressed. By the end of the fourth round, he could barely make it back to his stool, and his corner was ultimately forced to throw in the towel, marking one of the most unexpected endings in recent memory. Now, in a recent interview with Submission Radio, the former ONE Championship title holder revealed concerning details about his current condition. De Ridder admitted that weeks after the fight, he's still struggling to breathe properly. Even simple tasks like walking upstairs leave him out of breath. When I walk up the stairs, I still feel out of breath, he said, explaining that his symptoms have persisted for more than 2 weeks. When asked whether doctors had diagnosed the issue or if it was related to a virus, Reinier made it clear that the cause wasn't viral. There's a lot of information coming back from the blood work, he said cautiously. I don't want to be too specific because then I'll never get a rematch, but there's definitely some physical stuff that's wrong. I'm going to see if I can fix all this before I come back. He also revealed that this isn't the first time he's faced similar problems. De Ridder noted that he experienced comparable struggles during his second fight against Anatoly Malakin, issues he believed had been resolved, but apparently they weren't. His comments have fueled speculation among fans and analysts alike. Some believe he might be dealing with an illness or a collapsed lung, while others think the problem could simply be related to conditioning and the toll of intense grappling exchanges during the fight. Despite the uncertainty, one thing is clear. He emphasized that his main focus now is on addressing the underlying health issues before stepping back into the cage. I need to fix this before I come back, he said. Once everything's sorted, I'll be ready to fight again. As fans continue to speculate about the exact cause, De Ridder's honesty about his health struggles has drawn both concern and support from the MMA community. Move on to another news. Sean Strickland may have just leaked details about his next UFC fight, and fans are already buzzing about the potential matchup. With his suspension nearing its end, it appears the UFC is quietly putting together his return bout. And Strickland himself might have accidentally revealed who he's facing next. In recent weeks, Israel Adesanya has been publicly calling for a rematch with Strickland to avenge his shocking loss, a fight that saw Sean dominate the former champion in one of the biggest upsets of his career. However, despite Adesanya's efforts, Strickland hasn't shown much interest in running it back, repeatedly brushing off the idea of a rematch. Instead, it seems his focus is shifting elsewhere. The speculation began when Strickland responded to a fan on Instagram. During an exchange, one user commented, "MVP next," referring to a possible matchup with Michael Venom Page. Strickland replied simply, "Going to be fluffy." That short response sent the MMA community into a frenzy, as it strongly hinted that Strickland's next opponent could be none other than Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. If true, this is a fascinating matchup. Hernandez has been on an impressive rise, looking to push his name into the title picture after a string of dominant performances. A win over a former champion like Strickland could immediately catapult him into top contender status and possibly secure a shot at the middleweight belt. Hernandez has also been vocal about wanting to surpass Nasruddin Imavov in the rankings, aiming to position himself for a big fight, potentially against Khamzat Chimaev down the line. For Strickland, this bout could mark a critical return to the spotlight after a turbulent year, both inside and outside the octagon. Known for his relentless pressure, granite chin, and outspoken personality, Sean remains one of the UFC's most unpredictable figures, both as a fighter and as a showman. Of course, nothing has been officially confirmed by the UFC, and Strickland's comment could have been a classic case of him trolling fans. Still, the idea of Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez has caught fire among MMA circles, with many calling it one of the most exciting potential matchups in the middleweight division.